Here we are with Southland Conference Commissioner Chris Grant. Chris, you're back here in the Rio Grande Valley as UTRGV enters the midway point of their inaugural season, college football season here in the Rio Grande Valley. Let's start with just your overall thoughts on just what is happening down here in the Rio Grande Valley and how the Southland Conference has kind of provided the support for UTRGV to make it all happen.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier, it's transformational, right? When you look at, because folks say, okay, football started. Football started, but all these other programs that were here before football really were the foundation, right? To see what was the true recipe for success when building football out. And you love the vision that, Chase Kong had along with President Bailey and bringing this to the table. And what football has really done is, I talk about connectivity of the region, but it's kind of like when alignment connects with a vision, right? And seeing it come together, you can come in and see this such a fruitful opportunity for not only student athletes, but the coaches and this region to support Division I football. So to see the success early on, and so many folks talk about the schedule sometimes, and it's like, no, you're building a program. A win is a win, and quality opponents. And when it comes to FCS football, you don't discredit any opponent. I've seen a lot of seasons go to opposite directions, no matter who they schedule along the way. And so to see what Coach Bush was able to do and accomplish thus far, especially up to this midway point, and even already have his first conference win, already have his first non-conference Division I win. Those are things some programs go 2-3 years without seeing. And so it's exciting knowing that there's so much more opportunities out there for the Vaqueros to accomplish. You have another half of a conference season to go out and spread the word more and, give an opportunity on Saturdays for this community to support. So it's great student athletes that care about this region that will always continue to give back. And then let's talk about the economic impact, right? Not only right there at Vaquer Stadium, but at all local businesses. Like when our visiting teams are coming in, they're staying at hotels, they're flying into the airports, right? They're eating at the great restaurants here and having those food deliveries. And so, you can't discredit those things or what the impact they have on a community, let alone on a campus. And I think, you're going to see it next year. I'll double down probably and say enrollment's going to be up, right? Because so many people want to be a part of that. And tickets come at a premium. I know that too. And so get them early, right? And come out and support. But, it's truly, that's what college athletics is about. It's truly bringing communities together, especially in our conference. We specialize in that regional pride. And, that's something I always double down on and ensure that our athletic directors and our presidents understand, we start in taking care of home first. And then as we branch out, that's fine. But, taking care of our communities, our student athletes, and our student bodies on campus is what our priorities are. And so far, UTRGV has been exemplary in showing that.
And then, of course, UTRGV has been in the Southland for over a year. This is her first year competing in football in the Southland Conference. Being familiar with the Texas football and what football means to Texas, just what are your early impressions about UTRGV start and the support that they've received from this region?
Yeah, you said what football means. Texas is football, right? At the end of the day. And so with that said, that's what I know it means. And seeing that about our partnership, we appreciate you again at being a media day and not only supporting our league and UTRGV, but that just means a lot to us, right? And you believe in it. But we got to see right there 17,000 high school coaches running around that convention center in San Antonio. And each year that partnership continues to grow with THS-CAA. And so seeing how important it is not only to them, but knowing that those coaches now have an opportunity for having one more institution added to the mix is to keep it home in Texas for their student athletes to have success at a high level. It's phenomenal, right? And I think you'll see it for years to come. And knowing that Coach Bush, right, he came from that world. I mean, he's through and through, and so he knows what high school looks like, and that's why he's had so much success recruiting here in this region as well as throughout the state. I love that folks, when I'm in places and they mention his name specifically, because especially high school coaches, they know, and he sets another whole, platform for them, knowing that, hey, I can get to the collegiate ranks going through high school if I keep doing what I do and having success and do it the right way. I think that's one thing that you'll see, and he's a stand-up guy, and I love working with him. And so it's just true. When you add value in people, right, and being transformational from that standpoint and authentic relationships, the sky's the limit. And what we can do at the Southland Conference as well as what they can do here on this campus.
And then if we can, of course, you played college football yourself at Kentucky State. Right. What position did you play?
I played free safety a lot of pounds ago. Don't judge me now. Yes.
So, awesome. So and now a lot of people in this area, unless they traveled, they're getting their first taste of college football here in this area. So I was wondering if you could take us back to your player days and talk to us a little bit about that first time where when you get to the NFL, they say, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Yes.
Where did you realize, hey man, this is another league? So back to your college days, your college football days. what was your, I guess, welcome to college football moment?
I like our freshman year. We're playing at Edward Jones Dome. It's back where had the St. Louis Rams. So it's a little bit, I'm dating myself a little bit. But we're playing a dome, and we're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff, so Division I. And look, they had a wide receiver. He was probably 6'3", 220. I may have been 192, close to 200, soaking wet. However, he was bigger, faster, stronger, and found every angle on me. Gave up 4 touchdowns right away. The most disappointing thing, I came to the sideline, all my peers, my brothers in that locker room, they loved me, but they're like, come on, man, you're killing us, and I literally was. However, we went down to the first overtime, actually. I gave a touchdown to go in overtime. Get to the first overtime, give up another touchdown, right? So now we're at 5. 5 touchdowns in the game, 1 deep. It's on me, right? So you talk about confidence. I had a lot of it that game throughout. We get into that next overtime. They throw a slant route. I sat on it, pick. We go win the game, right? Instead of walk off. So that was my welcome moment. It was like adversity, a lot of it, but they came back with some perseverance, being resilient. I like that my leadership comes from that. Like it took a lot of times falling down to get back up. And as we rebuilt this league, we look at this map here today. When I inherited this league, it didn't look like this. And I'm just proud that our presidents believed in me to stay the course and take some of those hits early on. That look, it wasn't a UTRGV knocking on our door or Stephen F. Austin attempting to come back or a Lamar. It took an approach of setting a vision, right? Having everyone aligned, believing in it, and creating that stability from the start. And we're keeping the student athletes as our North Star. And you see in our logo, having pride in the South, right? That's where the Southland is. And that's why we say it's versus all y'all, because there's no one else that can claim this right here and being in 2 of the great states of Texas and Louisiana and what that does for our conference. So for me, it's about providing opportunities for student athletes and keeping it positive and hoping they look at my leadership and they say, hey, I made a difference along the way. And if I haven't yet, I look forward to touching them at some point in their lives.
And so now, just kind of wrapping things up here, UTRGV is at the midway point of their season. Yeah. They're 5-1, and they're 1-1 in Southland Conference play. So I know they were picked to finish 10th in the conference, and as Coach Bush has said, everybody's marking UTRGV as a winnable game on their schedule, and UTRGV already in the win column. Right. So. Just what does this say? UTRGV start here in Southland competition, going on the road into hostile territory in Hammond against Southeastern,
right?
And of course, picking up a home win against Houston Christian. About the prospect and the future of this UTRGV football team and how they're going to be able to compete here in the Southland.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it first, right? You have a leader in Coach Bush that he sets the expectation, right? Hey, chip on your shoulder every time you step on that field. Like, everyone's not looking to just embrace you. Like, they're trying to come in, take your heads off, right? They want to win and be gone. And it's up to you to set the course and make it a different experience. So, and from a student athlete perspective, you need those fans behind you to support you along the way. So I think that's going to be the biggest surprise when folks step into the stadium. Houston Christian just saw it, but when others come down and see that environment, it's eye-opening because we haven't seen that in previous years at every institution. And so adding one in a valued member and coming in and playing that environment, it's tough, right? Those fans are not quiet either, as you know, coming to games. And so, for the second half of the season, it's as easy as keeping the main thing. I think earlier I said it's one game at a time, and you truly do. You can't look ahead. You look ahead in the Southland, you're gonna get your butt whooped. That's just being quite frank, right? But at the same point in time, they have an opportunity here to set the course and be doing something historic that many first-year programs don't do. And so for me, if I'm a student athlete, I'm ready to get behind my boss and Travis Bush and no, Coach, I got your back, right? I'm willing to take this university, put it on my back, and then see how far we can go with it, knowing that the talent's in that locker room. And so that's exciting. But more importantly, look, hopefully on from that, they want to represent the Southland Conference, right, and show that they belong. And so we're going to see, because there's a lot of other competitive, you mentioned competitive teams out there, a lot of other hostile environments, and it's a long season. And so all I can tell them is, hey, stay healthy, take care of their bodies, enjoy this bye week this week, and continue to enjoy the experience. That's what you hear, is at the end of the day, it's a game, and you have fun with it, take care of your books. It should be first and foremost, but when you step between those lines, just have fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Southland Conference Commissioner Chris Grant, thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and of course for coming down to the Rio Grande Valley.
Yes.
And if everybody didn't know, they know now. It's
Southland versus all y'all.
All right, Chris. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.